What's going on, Master Duel fans? James Polk here. We got more matchups for you guys, and looking at this hand, I'd say it's fine. Normal Bell Star, set 1, and pass. Preda Practice. Okay, opponent is on Preda Plants. And this is one of the newer cards, I believe. So, free special a Preda Plant for the hand, and search for literally any Preda Plant card or Predap card that isn't practice. And then for the rest of the turn, after this card resolves, can't special from extra deck unless it's fusions. Saracenian getting, it looks like Drosophilum Hydra. Yep, Drosophilum Hydra. That makes sense. Bellstar, Chain Maxi. In response to Maxi, Call by the Grave on Maxi. Bellstar summon Caspar. Chlamydo Sundew activates. Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. Killing Chlamydo Sundew. Using this card as material. Okay, so have I not overlooked on Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit? That pretty much means that the fusion summon would have resolved. But lucky enough, Ghost Ogre was in my opening hand. Ties of the Brethren in the column where Caspar is. Billy the Kid, Doc Holiday, Caspar, search for Desperado. Now, this is the most stupidest thing I ever did. Desperado in the same column where Bellstar is, because sure about the no battle phase part off from ties, but I legit forgot that there's another downside effect is no more special summon after ties resolves. What I should have did was Desperado the Saracenian first in the same column where Bellstar is. I should have did Desperado first for another musket and then Ties of the Brethren to make sure I had all 5 muskets on the field. But you know, we live and learn about the misplays. Ever since picking up a new deck, we live and learn. We live and learn. Saracenian. Search for one of the newer cards, Bufolicula. If this card is sent to the graveyard or added to your extra deck face-up just because it was used as fusion material, this lets you add 1 face-up Dark Pendulum from extra deck to hand that isn't itself. Hard once on the main monster effect. And then the pendulum effect is, during your main phase, perform a fusion summon of a dark fusion from your extra using monsters from your hand or field as materials. So, Preda Plants have their own polys, which is really, really good. Bufolicula scaled. Bufolicula activates to fuse summon using Drosophilum Hydra and one of the newer Preda Plants, Biblisp. When it comes to Biblisp, if this card is sent to the graveyard, doesn't matter how, get a Preda Plant monster from deck to your hand that isn't Biblisp. And then if a monster with a Predator counter is anywhere on the field, free special from graveyard, but banish it whenever it leaves. Super nice. So 2 Preda Plants. Preda Plants, Ambulo Melodis. Level 5 Dark Plant Fusion with 1,000 attack, 2,500 defense. Quite the wall there. 2 Preda Plants to make it. 2 Preda Plant names, of course. If this card is fusion summoned, doesn't matter how it's fusion summoned, add 1 Predaplant monster or Predap spell trap from deck to hand, grave to hand, or face up extra deck to your hand. And then, so basically Stratos on steroids. And then target 1 monster your opponent controls with a predator counter or 1 monster you control, tribute it, and if you do, special 1 Predaplant monster straight from your deck. Each effect once. Ambulomelodus for the search, Biblisp as chain 2, Cross Dom as chain 3, in the same column where Doc Holiday is on Ambulomelodus. Gets Orpheus Scorpio, Doc Holiday, Fire the Droll as well, since he searched. Grabs back Desperado, Triantis Scaled. While this card is in Pendulum Zone, if you fusion summon a Dark Fusion monster, you can also use cards in your scales on the field as monsters. And then if this card is sent to the graveyard or added face up extra deck just because of fusion material, choose monsters on the field up to the number of monsters you control, place 1 predator counter on each one. And any of them that are level 2 or higher, they become level 1. In response to Triantis Scale, Desperado on that same scale. Bellstar. And then Predaplant player scooped. And this next matchup, based on his hand, wild. Normal summon Caspar and set 1. Extravagance, doesn't care about extra deck. Duality. Up against Gravekeepers. Hidden Temples of the Necro Valley. Activate only if both a GK and a Necro Valley are somewhere on the field. No one special monsters unless it's GKs. If either a GK or Necro Valley is not on the field, kill this card. Another Hidden Temples. Card of Demise. So 2 Hidden Temples of Necro Valley or Card of Demise. Grabs 1 of the Hidden Temples. GK commanded. Ditch him, get the Necro Valley. Activate that set Necro Valley. GK monsters are boosted by 500, super nice. And then cards in the graveyard cannot be banished, stinks for Dancing Needle. And then any card or effect that utilizes moving location outside of the graveyard ends up negated. And on top of that, negate any card effect that changes type or attribute in the graveyard. So no Zombie World, no Rebirth of Judgment. In response to Necro Valley, Desperado in the same column where Caspar is going after Necro Valley. Caspar. Infinite Impermanence as 2. Now, on this scenario, on a separate chain, Max is going to literally have no value if I let this chainable card resolve in response to Imperm. But truth be told, I have to do this move because it's so bad for me if I don't let Caspar get the search. But in response to Infinite Impermanence, World Legacy Awakens. Immediately after this effect resolves, put up a Link Summon. In other words, Caspar will be used as Link material just so that cast bar will still get the search. Whoa! Cast bar getting last stand. Normal GK Spiritualist. As for Spiritualist here, during your main phase, if Necro Valley is somewhere on the field, perform a fusion summon of any spellcaster in general, not just GKs, by using monsters from hand or field as material, including herself. Attack over max, and in the damage step, cross Dom on Spiritualist, just to keep max alive. Normal Bell Star, max 1000, Bell Star for 13. Extravagance once again. Bell Star, Impermanence. In response to Impermanence, Last Stand. Just so that Bell Star is going to resolve that special from deck at level 4 or lower musket. And on top of that, Extrav was in the same column where Bell Star is. And then GK players scooped. And this next matchup, looking at this hand, I'd say it's okay. Terraforming, wonder what's field. Up against Runics for the first time ever. So generally the idea about how Runics work is their mission is to deck your opponent out by sending cards to the banish pile instead of going to the graveyard. So, first things first, terraforming into Runic Fountain. You can activate Runic Quick Play spell cards from your hand during your opponent's turn. Remind you of something. Once per turn, if you activate a Runic Quick Play spell card, you can target up to 3 Runic Quick Play spells in your graveyard, place them on the bottom of your deck in any order, then draw the same number of cards. Wild. So, Runics are merely known for most of the quick play spells, with the exception of a continuous spell and a field spell. And in the field spell, we pretty much got that covered. Also, if you ever see Runic Fountain on the field, you have to stop Runic Fountain at all costs from recycling cards. If you do not stop Runic Fountain, you're going to lose. Runics, in terms of the quick plays, out of all of them, they share the one common effect, which is they special one of the Runic monsters off from your extra deck to the extra monster zone. And there are 3 Runic fusions. Hugin, Munin. Random fun fact, the 2 monsters based on the philosophy are ravens, aka thought and memory. Hugin here, if this card is special from the extra deck, discard 1 card, add 1 Runic field spell from deck to hand. So he basically terraforming into the fountain already in case one of them copies gets killed. And then if another card you control will be killed by a card effect, banish this card you control instead. To get around that thing, Cosmic Cyclone is the way to go. And then, if this card on the field gets killed by a battle or card effect, put it back to the extra deck. Munin, on the other hand, if this card is special for the extra deck, discard one card, add one runic continuous spell from deck to hand. Most cases, the Allure, which we will get into for a bit. And then, when your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a runic cards, more than one, you control or set cards, as a quick effect, you can banish this card you control, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. Once per turn, during the end phase, no matter whose end phase it is, gain 1,000 life. Seems pretty good when it comes to stalling out and healing up. And then Gary, the Runic Fangs, can't be killed by card effects. Random fun fact, if you bring this out with instant fuse, Gary will still be there. If this card is special from the extra deck, instant fuse. Target one non-quick play runic spell in your graveyard, add it back to your hand. Most cases, in case Allure gets killed from grave, add it back to hand. And then when this card gets killed by battle, target one card anywhere on the field, kill it. Nice. And all of the runic fusions required 2 runic monsters. And as I said from before, all of the runic quick play spells can cheat it out by special summon one of them from the extra deck. And on top of that, another common thing that they share is if for some reason you use any of the runic quick play spells, you literally lose your next battle phase after activation. And as for runic allure, the non-runic quick play, each time a quick play spell card activates, banish the top card of your opponent's deck, one allure at a time. Now, as for the runic quick play spells, it depends on what the card really does in terms of its actual effect, and it also depends on what is the magic number of cards banished from your opponent's deck to the banish pile. Most cases, I'm going to lose cards to the banish pile. So let's see. Runic tip. Add one runic card from deck to hand that isn't tipped, so Fire Formation tanky. Banish the top card. So tanky of runics, we lose one card. Flashing Fire. Target one special summon monster your opponent controls, kill it, then banish the top 2. Runic Destruction. Target one spell trap your opponent controls, kill it, then banish the top 4. Wild. Freezing Curses. Target one effect monster your opponent controls, negate its effects until the end of this turn, then banish the top 3. Runic Slumber. Target one face-up monster anywhere on the field. The next time that monster would be killed by battle or card effects this turn, it is not. Also, it cannot attack this turn. Then, after applying this effect, banish the top 3. Smiting Storm simply says banish cards from the top of your opponent's deck up to the number of cards they control. Golden Droplet states your opponent draws one card, then banish the top 4. Wild. And then Dispelling. If your opponent adds a card or cards from deck to hand outside the draw phase, discard one random card from their hand, then banish the top 2. Most cases, runics are all about deck out strategies. Activates Runic Fountain. Destruction to put up a runic from extra deck. Munin. Ditch Pot of Duality for Runic Allure. Activate the Runic Allure. Munin, gain 1,000. Normal summon Caspar. Fiendish Deal, right where Caspar is. Caspar getting cross dom. Caspar into Max. Max's effect. In response to Max, flashing fire for the destruction. Can't be killed by card effects due to Fiendish Steel. And on top of that, since the Runic player activated another back row card, that literally says that is one more extra musket from the deck instead of just specialing out 2. So most cases, Samuel the Black Huntsman, Billy the Kid, and Belle Star. Allure, Fountain, putting the 2 back. Allure, what do we lose? Upstart Goblin. Samuel over Munin. Billy the Kid 16. Belle Star 13. And Max 1,000. And 1 set. In the standby phase, World Legacy awakens, Belle Star into Max. Max grabs out Doc and Caspar. Doc Holiday and Caspar. Raigeki can't be killed by card effects due to Fiendish Steel. And on top of that, Billy the Kid is in that same column where Raigeki was. Billy the Kid, ditch its copy, activates Dispelling in response to special from extra. For Gary, draw the 2. Allure, Fountain, Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit on the Fountain. And Runic Allure lost out the Desperado. Obviously, we got multiple copies in the deck somewhere, and then the Runic player scooped. What Runic variant is he playing? Yo! Invoked Runic with a spice of Cyberstein. So the invoked strategies. 3 Alistairs, 2 invocations. And then the invokes are 2 Caligas, Madness, 2 Macabre, and Auguries. And then if for some reason he are able to get 2 level 4s, do Garrus for the sake of the draw, I believe. And then Cyberstein spiced for the sake of the last warrior from another planet, which is ridiculous of a card. Still managed to take the dub, but the deck list is wild. And last but not least in this clip, looking at this hand, I'd say it's fine. Labyrinth. First time ever up against Labyrinth. So, the idea, the way how Labyrinth work, they are all about back row heavy or like a trap heavy deck. So, Labyrinths are known to disrupt plays based off from normal traps. So, starting off fresh with the power source of the field spell. If you have activated a set, Welcome Labyrinth, which we will get into, you can add this additional effect to that card's effect at resolution. Also after that, does not target destroy one card anywhere on the field. And then if you have activated a non-labyrinth normal trap outside of the damage step, special summon one fiend in general from hand or graveyard. Doesn't gotta be labyrinths, by the way, when it comes to fiends. And then each effect elaborate labyrinth once. And then as for their spell, Labyrinth setup. Target 2 of your labyrinth spells and traps that are banished or in your graveyard that isn't labyrinth setup. Shuffle them back. Then if you control a fiend monster, set non-labyrinth normal traps with different names straight from your deck equal to the number you shuffled. One setup per turn. As for the labyrinth traps, Labyrinth Barrage. When you activate a set normal trap card that isn't barrage, this effect becomes that normal's trap. Normal trap's effect when that card was used. Also, until the end of your opponent's next turn, after this card resolves, your opponent takes no effect damages at all. And then Fair Welcome Labyrinth. When a monster declares an attack while you control a fiend monster, target one card anywhere on the field, negate the attack, and if you do, destroy that targeted card. Then you can set one non-labyrinth normal trap from your hand or deck. And then Welcome Labyrinth. Special summon one labyrinth monster from your deck. Also, until the end of the next turn after this card resolves, you cannot special summon from deck or extra deck except fiends. If a monster leaves the field by your normal trap effect while this card is in your graveyard except the turn it was sent there, reset button the Welcome Labyrinth. Now, onwards to the Labyrinth monsters. Ku-Klok, Stovey Torby, and Chandraglier. They all do something in terms of quick effects. Now, Ku-Klok here. Discard this card this turn. Activate one normal trap card that was set this turn, if you control a labyrinth monster. And then if a card is sent from hand to the graveyard to activate your normal trap card or labyrinth card or effect that isn't Ku-Klok while this card is in your graveyard outside of the damage step, add this to your hand or special summon it. Same concept goes for Stovey Torby on the secondary effect. And then in this one, rather than add it to the hand or special, let's see, add this card to your hand. So Chandraglier to the hand, and then Stovey Torby is the special summon, and then Ku-Klok does either add to the hand or special. In this one for Stovey Torby, set one labyrinth spell trap from hand or deck. I believe that does the... Oh no, that straight up sets one labyrinth spell trap. Okay, so that's super nice. And then set one labyrinth spell trap from hand or deck. Okay, that does the same thing. And then this one recurs. Now, Ariane and Ariana, the two labyrinth twins. Ariane, the labyrinth servant. Send one normal trap from hand or that set on your field to the graveyard. Special one level 4 or lower fiend from your deck in defense that isn't Ariane. I think I just realized something, but we'll get to that. And then if another monster leaves the field by your normal trap outside of the damage step, draw one. Then apply this. From your hand, either special summon one fiend or set one spell trap. Each effect of Ariane ones. And then Ariana here, No more special, add a Labyrinth card from deck to hand that isn't Ariana. If another monster leaves because of a normal trap outside of the damage step, draw one card. Then apply this. From your hand, either special a fiend or set a spell trap. Seems pretty good for Ariane and Ariana. Labyrinth Archfiend, one of the most high level monsters. 400 attack for each normal trap with a different name in your graveyard. Reminds me of Uriah for one. And then your opponent's monsters cannot target fiends for attacks except the Archfiend. And then each affects of Archfiend once. If a trap card is triggered outside of the damage step, free special summon from your hand. Pretty good. If this card is special summoned, set one normal trap straight from your deck that can only be activated when an attack is declared. Seems pretty generic in terms of attack declarations. And then the big boss herself. Lovely Labyrinth of the Silver Castle. Level 8 Dark Fiend, 2900 attack, 1900 defense. Your opponent cannot activate monster effects in response to the activation of your normal trap cards. In other words, whenever a normal trap card is activated, we cannot chain monster effects, but we still can do spells and traps to get around that thing. And then each of the following effects of Lovely Labyrinth once. Target one normal trap in your graveyard, literally any normal trap. Set it to your side of the field, but it cannot be activated unless you control a fiend monster. Wild. If another monster or monsters, more than one, leaves the field by your normal trap outside of the damage step, does not target, kill one card in your opponent's hand at random or their field, which is wild. And funny enough, about my Muskets going up against Labyrinths, sooner rather than later, I think in the near future, Labyrinth Muskets is the way to go in the near future of a season. And set 4. Okay, I'm going to imagine none of this stuff goes through. Summons Billy the Kid, Compulsus. In response to Compulse, Desperado, kill the field spell. And reset button minus Desperado. Ariana. Ghost Ogre on Ariana. Ooh, Solemn Strike. That has to hurt. Adds the Welcome Labyrinth. And set 1 could be literally anything. Billy the Kid. Torrential Tribute. End phase, Welcome Labyrinth. Whoa! Quite the animation of the boss lady. Extravagance. Fires off the Droll because I now realize that Droll doesn't do jack against this deck. Labyrinth reset buttons. I believe that was Welcome Labyrinth that he reset it, and then the 2 extra set cards. Labyrinth for 29, which is quite a major chunk of damage. Normal Doc Holiday. Trap Trick. Yo! Shatterfoil Trap Trick, which is super nice. And we all know what's up with Trap Trick. Just banishes you literally any normal trap that isn't Trap Trick and reset buttons you want. And the turn you do this, you can only activate one more trap card after this card resolves. And then as for the banishing the normal trap, dogmatic punishment. Maybe that's why the Labyrinth player does not care about the extra deck strats. Dogmatic punishment. Ties of the Brethren in the same column where Doc is. Caspar and Billy the Kid. Doc Holiday. In response, dogmatic punishment on Billy the Kid. In response to dogmatic punishment, this spicy forbidden chalice targeting lovely Labyrinth just so that her unchainable effect still can be played around it, and on top of that, no non-target destruction off from lovely Labyrinth. Extra deck toss out. Wind Pegasus, Attic Nister. And random fun fact, by the way, Muskets basically do not care about responses because all of the Muskets that isn't Samuel or Max can legit activate their effects on a separate chain. In other words, they don't care. Doc Holiday gets Desperado. Caspar, grab the last stand. And can't do much because lovely Labyrinth is too large. Welcome Labyrinth. For Ariana. Doc Holiday. In response to Doc Holiday, Solemn Strike once again. Ouch. In response to Solemn Strike, last stand in the column where Caspar is. Grabs Billy the Kid. Grabs Welcome Labyrinth. Caspar search for cross domination. Reset button. Cross dom as chain 2. In response to cross domination, Eradicator Epidemic Virus. Are you actually kidding me? That is wild. Should be one dark monster with 2500 or more attack, most cases the lovely Labyrinth, and I legit never saw this card coming. And declare one card type, spell or trap. Look at your opponent's hand, all spells and traps they control, and all cards they drawn until the end of their third turn after this card's activation, and kill all cards of the declared type. Tribute off lovely Labyrinth, calling trap cards. In response to Eradicator, Desperado on Ariana. And then the Labyrinth players scoot. Man, quite the games between those two fiends. So guys, that's gonna do it. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Hit that notification bell to keep yourself constantly updated. And I'll catch you guys next time.